Hello, dear viewers of our channel. Today we will talk about two of the most famous singers whose creative paths are of the interest to millions of fans like you throughout the world. Andrea Bocheli is a world-famous singer in the opera and pop arena, and Dimash is a young singer who is gaining momentum in Europe and the American continent. Well known in Asia with a unique voice of great talent, they are united by several things. One similarity is both singers desire to make the world a kinder and happier place for everyone. And we also talk about what else unites these two talented, famous singers. Please remember to click on subscribe and like button below. This will help me continue to provide you with interesting topics for you. Please let me know what topics you're interested in hearing about in the future. What unites these creative personalities? First, both Andrea Bocheli and Dimash are singers of world importance who have managed to combine pop music and opera together with their creative directions. What do we mean? We say that these two singers have decided to develop their careers in contemporary music using classical elements. One of the famous Italian newspapers wrote that following about Andrea Bocheli: he sings songs like opera and opera likes songs. Further, in this newspaper is written that this may sound offensive, but the result is exactly the opposite. A huge number of adoring fans, and among them not only teenagers dressed in rumpled t-shirts, but also an endless line of businesswomen and housewives, and dissatisfied employees and managers in double-breast jackets who ride the subway with a laptop computer on their knees and a Bocheli CD in the player. What can we say about Dimash? Dimash studied academic opera singing in Kazakhstan and then was invited to work at the State Opera, the Ballet Theatre, Astani Opera, but Dimash decided to develop his career in modern and folk music using classical elements. These are different classical elements used in the opera. On one of them, such as operative techniques as bel canto, he talked to you in a previous program. Andrea Bocheli, unlike Dimash, does not have a musical education. He is a lawyer by profession, but he mastered the skills of singing and ascends to this day on the musical Olympus of fame. The audience really likes the voice of Dimash and Bocheli. They have a very beautiful timbre. They sing live. Bocheli uses a singing technique without a microphone. For Bocheli, singing in the microphone, as he himself admits it is in football, it is a tantamount to widening the goal to score more goals. Many experts believe that Bocheli challenges the arenas, the operative audiences, when he sings without a microphone. Dimash, like Bocheli, sings live, which is why Dimash's popularity grew at the Chinese vocal competition, The Singers, in 2017. There he showed his original phenomenon, which consists in the fact that performing pop and classical popular songs in this difficult 13-stage competition. He used the most complex academic technique. Of course, this delighted the audience and the jury. In addition, he demonstrated his uniqueness in that he, when performing songs, did not limit himself to a certain range of voice. Either he rose to the level of a rare countertenor range, then a female soprano. In one song, Dimash still to this day at his concerts performs songs live using various complex singing techniques, moving from one range to another. A little like Bocheli's biographical data. The famous Italian tenor Andrea Bocheli was born on September 22, 1958, in a small village of Lajatico, which is located in Tuscany. The boy's family had nothing to do with music. Parents were engaged in their household. They kept a farm with vineyards. Since childhood, Andrea has been diagnosed with eye disease. His vision was rapidly failing. He constantly had to do operations. During periods of rehabilitation, the boy was rescued by music, listening to records of Italian operas, which he could listen to for hours. Unbeknownst to himself, Andrea became humming famous melodies and learning them. Gradually, the boy mastered playing the piano, flute, and even took lessons in playing the saxophone. At the age of 12, while playing ball, the future singer received a head injury. The doctors diagnosed sounded like a verdict, a complication of glaucoma that made the child blind. But that did not stop Andrea on the way to his dream. He finally confirmed his intentions to become a singer. The young man continued to lead a normal life. In addition to his law studies, he takes music lessons and performs at local music competition. In his youth, in order to pay for his education, Andrea had to combine his studies with singing in cafes and restaurants. In 1994, Andrea wins the first prize at the San Remo Festival in the Discovery of the Year category. A year later, he entered the top Italian performers with a musical composition, Tu mer calmo del Sera, which became a hit on the singer's first album. The collection is immediately sold out in millions copies in Italy. The second album, entitled Bocheli, also went platinum and was a huge success throughout Europe. In 1995, he has the honor to address the Pope at the Vatican and received his blessings. If the singer's first albums represents only classical opera music, then by the time the third disc was written, the famous Neapolitan songs appeared in his singer's repertoire. The fourth collection, Romanza, consists entirely of hip-hop songs with the single Time to Say Goodbye, which the young Italian performed together with Sarah Brightman. He conquered the whole world, after which he goes on tour of North America. Andrea Bocheli has a consistency, good taste for the beautiful melodies and beautiful voices. In 1999, he sang the hit The Pair with Celine Dion, for which he won the Golden Globe Awards. Together with the Canadian singer Laura Fabian, whose all music critics called the owner of the angelic voice, Andrea sang the song Vivo per lei. The golden tenor participates not only in duets with the stars, so the Italian presented his song Canti Partiro to the young French singer Gregory LaMarche, who was suffering from cystic fibrosis. Unfortunately, the talented singer passed away before he was 24 years old. There are many photos and videos of Gregory LaMarche left on the network. In 2015, Bocheli performed a duet with rising American star Ariana Grande, performing the single I più ti penso with her. Despite his worldwide fame, Andrea Bocheli is constantly criticized by the Italian media. From time to time, some critics would define the Andrea Bocheli phenomenon. So, for example, when he made his debut as Rodolfo in La Boheme, critics were not condescending to the short breath, flat phrasing, fearful top notes. And here is another criticism of an Italian journalist when Bocheli made his debut at the Arena di Verona. This was the most sarcastic comment in the Corriere della Sera newspaper. Solfeggio is a matter of choice. Intonation is highly personal. The accent is from Pavarotti's I would like to, but I cannot. The audience tore off their palms. Bocheli gave a standing ovation, but for all the criticisms from the media, Andrea Bocheli's concert tickets cost $500. American critics write, "This is more expensive than the price of the Beatles when they landed in Manhattan." Today, the singer's financial condition is estimated at least £30 million. It must be said that Andrea Bocheli's singing career began precisely with the substantial support of Luciano Pavarotti, a world-famous opera singer, in 1992. It was this year that turned out to be a turning point in the biography of Andrea Bocheli. His recordings of the song Misery falls on this great tenor, who was amazed at the skill of the amateur singing. The great tenor Luciano Pavarotti, at the dawn of his musical career, Andrea Bocheli included him amongst the guest performers to perform at the annual Pavarotti International Benefit Concert in Modena. I would like to say a few words about the legendary tenor Luciano Pavarotti, who was able to make the elite art of opera popular. Pavarotti went to the people, having achieved recognition among connoisseurs of opera. The singers began to give recitals and went on a tour of American outbacks, where there were no theaters at all. Pavarotti often appeared on television, not only sang but also as a star guest participating in culinary programs, talk shows, even the famous white scarves that Pavarotti held in his left hand during performances is a producer's find. We know the total results. Millions of records sold, thousands of viewers who came to his concerts around the world. For Dimash, Luciano Pavarotti and Andrea Bocheli, these are two legendary tenors whose platinum albums were a huge success and sold millions of copies all over the world. Dimash conquered world scenes step by step. More and more countries know Dimash and are amazed at his talent and his amazing, unique voice. In our opinion, whatever Dimash's repertoire is, opera was and remains his love. After all, Dimash is an opera singer by education.
Thank you very much. Maybe sorry for something for our country, Kazakhstan.
Ha detto che gli dici qualcosa che sta registrando, di qualcosa del suo paese.
No, I heard your voice. I was in Italy, and I've been very surprised because you have an amazing voice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Andrea Bocheli spoke excellently about Dimash's work in China on May 15, 2019. He said, "I heard your voice. It was a surprise for me. Your voice really impressed me." Dimash can be said to be the appraisal of such a famous opera singer inspired him, became a kind of motivator, a beacon that will have a tremendous impact on the future fate and work of the young Kazakh singer Dimash. He likes all of us understanding that Bocheli's compositions turn out to be too light to correspond to a serious opera genre. The singer Andrea Bocheli himself refused to position himself as an exclusively classical performer. However, we love the bright works of Andrea Bocheli, and we think that Dimash follows this path and will deliberately delve deeper into the popular genre in the future in order to expand the popularity of opera, as Luciano Pavarotti and Andrea Bocheli did and are doing. Second, both Andrea Bocheli and Dimash includes traditional folk music in their repertoire. Andrea Bocheli invariably includes Neapolitan songs in his repertoire. Here's an excerpt from an Italian newspaper story. Bocheli is Italian and especially Tuscan. This is one of his strengths. The song of Bocelli's voice, so gentle, conjures up in every American's mind a room with a beautiful view, the fearsome hills, the English patient's hero, the stories of Henry James, the New York Times Sunday supplements of advertises the Ciante Hills, villas after villas, weekends after weekends. The Mediterranean diet, the American believed was invented between Siena and Florence. The Italian whose voice is able to mix melodramas with the songs of San Remo is liked by everyone. In Germany, the country that opened it in 1996, it is constantly featured in the charts. In the United States, he is a cult object. In April 2020, on Catholic Easter, Andrea Bocelli's Music of Hope concert was held in an empty Milan cathedral. He performed the composition Ave Maria by Schubert. He dedicated his speech to Italy, which was badly affected during the pandemic. The video from the performance is less than a day scored almost 25 million views on YouTube. What can we say about Dimash? We believe that the phenomenon of Dimash lies primarily in the fact that Dimash is given strength and talent by his people. His native land, Kazakhstan, at concerts, Dimash emphasizes the importance of Kazakh folk art, includes Kazakh songs in his repertoire, and in general, all of his work is saturated with national flavors. The viewer is always waiting for something new. The viewers expect new songs with interesting processing, arrangements with an additional of national colors. Indeed, Dimash makes his performance even brighter. He, like Andrea Bocheli, an Italian Neapolitan singers, songs with a wonderful sense of inspiration, his homeland, his people, and this source is exhaustible for many years to come. Such artists as Andrea Bocheli, Dimash will delight and amaze us with their original creativity. Sow seeds of goodness, and love on earth. Teach truth and justice. Today we tried to tell you about some of the similarities between the two famous singers. Of course, this topic can be deepened indefinitely. Perhaps entirely scientific dissertations and books will be devoted to this issue. Our task was to once again show Dimash phenomenon through the comparative characteristics of famous singers Andrea Bocheli and Dimash, singers who developed opera singing through pop's music. We in no way want to show the superiority of one over the other. We do want to think in advance that Dimash's plans regarding his chosen genre, his direction. Our task was only to touch on this topic in order to perhaps to add to the treasures of serious research on the phenomenon of Dimash as a person with a unique voice. Please write your own comments and what do you think about Dimash phenomenon. We will be glad to read them. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and also click the like button for more interesting topics and videos for you to enjoy in the near future. Thank you, my friends. Until next, you and your families be safe.